In Solo Leveling, I said that you don't care about many characters besides Sun Jin Woo, which is the main character. And this comment says, Beru, that Chinese guy, Thomas Andrew, that Korean president, there are many characters that Solo Leveling has developed after they got done with the MC. No hate, I'm going to clap back a little bit. I think the fact that you don't know the names of the characters might also support my thought that these characters are not that memorable. If we're talking about Beru, Beru is basically enslaved to the main character. He was killed, turned into like a pet that has no choice but to obey his master. He doesn't speak, he doesn't have any goals but to serve the main character. And sometimes he has like little cute funny moments so that you forget the fact that the main character is like enslaving this creature in death. He's basically like Momo from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Again, nothing wrong with Momo, but I'm never like, wow, Momo was such a compelling character. No, he was a mascot for Avatar: The Last Airbender and he was cute at best. That Chinese guy, I have no idea who that is. The Korean president, if that's the one who, spoiler alert, got killed, I'm not sure if I felt anything when the dude died. Like, did he have a story arc? Not really, but he didn't even like have a role as like the strongest. You know what I mean? Like, if it's an old guy that's at the top of the league and he dies, good examples like Bleach, right? Genryu Sai, old guy, you don't really know his story, he dies and you kind of feel bad because he's cool, he's badass, and he's old, so you feel some empathy. He gets killed and you're like, wow, that sucks. This Korean president like just died and I was like, great, like, okay, now what? It wasn't like if Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender died because you were with him and you empathize with him and you see his character grow over the course of the series. He wasn't even badass. He was just like an old guy that had some like political power in the series. I don't really know. And then we look at Thomas Andrew. Thomas Andrew, I had to Google who this was because I forgot who it was. Great art, cool fights, kind of a one-dimensional personality. All the strong people in Solo Leveling have the same reaction. They underestimate the main character, then they realize that he's pretty strong, and then they're amazed with him and respect him. And that's just so boring to me, and they'll have no development as a character besides that, like, those 3 different reactions to the main character. Their goals are not really clear, so you really don't see them going towards their goals. And again, I get it, it's called Solo Leveling. All we care about is the main character's focus. If you want a character that in Solo Leveling has some kind of development and might be a little bit likable, it's his sidekick, Yu Jinho, I think his name is. The one who starts the guild with him and, is super soft, is super nice, has goals, right? That's a character that I'm like, oh, like he's got a little bit of development. Again, when I look at the broader spectrum of fiction, I'm not like, wow, this is someone that I'm going to remember in like 1 year. But in terms of Solo Leveling, he's probably one of the characters that had the most development, right? But yeah, he never really became his own thing. He's kind of just a sidekick to the main character. It's kind of like in Naruto, where Naruto and Sasuke are the only ones who are important in that series. Tenten is kind of like thrown to the side, and that's how every side character kind of feels, except Tenten also has goals. Most of the side characters in this series we're not exploring them that deeply. And I'm not alone. Like, everyone's like, Solo Leveling side characters rant. It honestly feels like they could have put more time into side characters. When I first started reading the manhwa, I thought I wouldn't just get top tier art but story as well. Well, it's not what I expected. The side characters are just side characters to show Sun Jin Woo's strong points. Every character gets switched to a new one after they do what they need. Gorgeous female that likes Sun Jin Woo, strong male that underestimates Sun Jin Woo and then gets beaten, and onlookers that get surprised by how Sun Jin Woo is. This is not just a Solo Leveling problem. A lot of webtoons do this. A good example being a ton of the System manhwa series that are all focused around an overpowered main character. Because they all do the same thing. All the side characters are just meant to make the main character look good. Like, give them some depth, please. Here's a good example of someone who does good side characters. Blue Lock. Blue Lock, you're rooting for everyone, and when people are going against each other, they all have backstories, they all have goals, and when they get eliminated, you're like, damn, like, I really wish you didn't get eliminated. Every character has a strength, every character has a weakness, every character has a special ability that they're all good at, and guess what? I remember a lot of those characters' names.